Hey guys, I just wanted to paint a little bit today, so I'm gonna get back to my basics and do a floral. I really like flowers. I don't know what's gonna come out, but I'm gonna use all colors of blues and maybe a little bit of green, I'm not sure. But I'm gonna use the Pinata Pearl mixative and the silver mixative also, along with artsy colors and ranger colors, and I've got a diluted bottle of the Pinata Blue, and I'm just going to play. I've got some diluted Pinata Blanca Blanca White. I have Snowcap in the Rangers and the Pinata Straight Up White. I've been doing quite a few geodes and resin ink art pieces, and just wanted to mess around today without feeling any pressure of making sure my resin was mixed perfectly or that it was all going to turn out, my rocks were in the right place or whatever. So I just wanted to play a little bit today. I'm going to start out with just placing some spots on my canvas, which I'm using Kirkland signature photo paper is what I'm using. I forgot I was going to put a teeny bit of purple in also, and it's diluted Pinata Purple. The Pinata Purple is really pigmented. It's very strong color. So I'm going to let that dry just a bit and see what kind of flowers we can come up with. I will be using my air gun today. I have a 0.0 compressor that came with 3 different air guns, and I really like them. And since I haven't used them in a while, I just wanted to see if I have forgotten all that I have practiced. Some people use blending solution. I happen to like 91% alcohol. I'm going to turn my fan on so I've got movement and ventilation around. I always put it behind me so the alcohol will flow away from me. So I'm working on the back side, which is like a matte finish, and on the front side of the photo paper, of course, is kind of glossy. So this is dried pretty good, so I'm just going to start moving it around and see what I can come up with. This is a boiler bottle. It's a needle tip, and it just lets out very little alcohol at a time. So I really like it a lot. So let's just play and see what one can come up with. I kind of want this purple one to melt into the background, and this green and blue here be in the forefront. So we'll do the background color first. I've got my airbrush set at 25 psi so it doesn't blow terribly hard. I'm going to let that set for a minute, and I'm going to put a teeny bit more here. The more alcohol you put on there, the wider you can make your petals. Just want it to be kind of pastel in color. Or in tone, not in color, but in tone. It's really cool to mix up your colors so you get nice value and change in the range of colors that you can get. Like that one. Finish this one out here. And then go to the main colors. I am going to put a little bit of silver and pearl in this one. It's really important. The silver and the pearl are mixative, so you really have to kind of shake them up really well to use them. And the pearl just adds like so much depth to your colors. Just gonna play. Don't know what's going to come out of it, other than most of the time they just come out really pretty. So there's my pearl. I'm going to put a teeny bit of silver in the center of it, straight up. It's going to somewhat be covered up by the forefront flower, but just to give a little bit of depth in the painting. Just going to play. It's important to know too that when you put your mixatives on, they're pretty well there. So make sure you think about that. So on this main one, I really want to put a little bit more blue on it. So I'm just going to put a little bit more around the edge and let that dry for a minute so I can mix all that in. A teeny bit of, I'm gonna let that dry, so I'll put a teeny bit of more purple here just to add the depth to it. It is diluted purple, so just add a little bit to it. I don't like how this one right here come out, so I'm going to work on spreading that one out a little bit. Seems like it needs another color value in it. So I may just Just accidentally put a little bit more, I mean, a little bit of a little bit of the blue in there. Let it mix in a little bit. There. Alright, so now we're gonna work on covering that up. But we have all the edges, so let's see what we come up with. Just playing with petals. I may end up putting a little bit of yellow in this. Not sure just yet. Got a scratchy throat. That blue's really pretty. I want to determine where my center is going to be. Add a little bit more color in the center so I can push it out further. So I'm going to add a little bit more color here. Let that dry for a minute. A little bit more blue along here. Let that dry for a minute. I really like to work the inks with the alcohol. I like the effect it gets. So let's see what we can get from that now. It's really not wanting to push for me. So I'm just going to keep working at it. I think the important thing is, even if it's not doing exactly what you want it to do, it's important not to give up on it. There's a fine line between knowing when to stop and how long you should continue. So, in my thought process, if I get this far and I really don't like colors, I can continue. But I get to a point and say, I really like that. You should really stop and say, I think I'll come back to it in a bit and see what I think about it then. I'm still working because I really don't like how the ink's moving right now, so I'm just going to keep trying to work it until it becomes what I want it to be. I think there's a place right here that I'm going to put some dark. I dropped a bit of pearl before I ever got started videoing, so I'm going to let that dry out there. I am going to go a little bit deeper here with some color, a little bit deeper here with some color. Let those set for a moment. Drop a little bit of color just on the cusp of those. Let them set, and then I will work them with the alcohol. I love the artsy colors. However, I do not like the lids because they are really hard to get screwed back on. I don't know why, but they are. Okay. Let's work with some color. Somebody would say, oh my goodness, she just screwed that up, putting drops on there. You just keep moving it. Just keep moving it. I wanted one balloon to look like it was coming out this side and going down. So just open them up and let them flow. This is where you say, oops, because I happened to pour my spot on top of the metallics, and they really kind of stick. So be aware of that. Some days you're just not going to get something that turns out, I guess. There's not any reason to quit working on it. Not any reason to quit working on it. So if we can get a little bit more break up there. That looks good. Not sure I really like this here. So we see if we can get it to break up just a bit. There you go. Just to break it up just a bit. I really like the blue and the green mixed. Let that sit there for a moment. Let it puddle. Get it to dry just a bit. Let that one puddle. Bring that up. Get it a little bit of color back in it. Trying to determine where I want my center of this front flower. I'm going to get rid of some of this. Droopies right here. something there that I probably don't want. Let's just mix it in. There we go. I'll get rid of a few of those. It's really a funky flower. All right. So now I'm going to add some of the diluted Pinata Blanca White, just in places. Hopefully I am. It just shows a little bit of, makes it kind of lacy. Gives it a little bit more depth. Then I'll go in with the straight up. To add to it with that. Let's see what we can do. Just let your colors find their way through it. I think it's really kind of pretty. You really have to like blues. If you just drop dots, you most likely get a straight line. But if you do a little bit of a curved S or a Z, it gives you different dimensions. Within your painting. And I think it kind of turns out pretty. I'm going to add just a bit of the pearl on top of here. I hope you can see how the curved line gives you more than one stretch of color. I'm going to give I really like the blues, I think. Lots of people like the snow cap. I like the Pinata Blanca Blanca white because it absorbs into the colors. So I really like it. Let's see if I can get some funky zigs in there. I'm really not sure. I like all of this here, so I'm going to see if I can dull it up just a little bit with just some alcohol. Just disappear a little bit of it in there. There we go. So kind of an easy flower to do. Just keep playing until it ends up being what you want it to be. I'm going to put a teeny bit, I think, a little bit of the pearl. Just a little bit in places. It kind of makes it, you know, I mean, it is metallic-y, so it adds that dimension to it. I'm going to put up a little bit of straight up blue in just a few places, just to bring the colors around. I really somewhat like it a lot. I'm going to add my whites back in, just in places. Underneath this one. Alright, so I think that I will probably continue working on it a tad bit, but for the most part I really do like it. I won't take up any more of your time. There is a blue flower, abstract, definitely abstract, but I think I like it. I think I do. I may take, you can take just drops of alcohol in places and remove some of your color by putting just little subtle drops. And some people use Posco pens, markers. You can do however you would like to do. Don't like that one there, so we're going to try to get rid of it. Gonna try. Just remember, when you put the mixed of colors on, it's really hard to get the ink to move that is underneath. It takes on those colors and it kind of sticks.